Alright, let's talk about the Handyman specials in MoneyGiant. Now, first of all, we have three Handyman specials. We have Sunset Boulevard on Easy Street, and you have Santa Monica Boulevard on Memorial Lane, and then you have Park Avenue on Divorce Alley. And it's the first property in each quadrant, okay, with the exception of overtime here. So you have the first property here, first property in the yellow, and the first property in the green. And they are indicated by the paintbrush, the little paintbrush image that is at the top of the property. And again, you'll see those on the property card itself. Now, in real estate, a handyman special is a property that you buy, but you have to do something to it. You have to fix it up before you can start getting any kind of a return on your investment. And so it's a similar concept in the game. When you first buy a handyman special, you can't do anything with it until you pay the amount that you're going to find either on the property itself on the board or on the card. It'll say fix up amount, and that's the amount that you have to give the bank before you can treat it like any other properties. Okay, so let's assume, for example, I'm over here. I am on Miami Lakes, and I'm going to roll. And I roll the dice, and I roll an 11. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That puts me on Park Avenue. Now, Park Avenue is a handyman special. So what I do is I pay the money first of all. The price of the property is $55,000. If I have the $55,000, I want to pay it cash. I can go ahead and give the money to the bank, and I don't have to give up a credit check. But the down payment here is $11,000, and so if I can't afford the $55,000, I give the down payment. And also it says that I need to have at least 5 credit checks, which is not a problem because I got married last time, and so I have all my credit chips back. And so, but the fix-up amount here on this property is $15,000. So what happens is when I buy this property, I would give the down payment $11,000 and make the bull jingle, and then I would go ahead and take a marker. But I'm going to put the marker at the very top. You see, the marker is not going on the first row because I'm not trying to keep track of the value of the property just yet, because I haven't fixed it up yet. So you want to put the marker above the first row to show that you can't collect any rent on it, and you can't increase the value if you land on it until you fix up the property. Okay, so then I come around and I land on Park Avenue, and then I buy this handyman special. Now, I continue to play the game. If I have some extra money, I can pay the fix-up amount, the $15,000, and then all I would do is just bring the marker on the first row. Now it becomes like any other property. But the other thing that I want to point out is players sometimes they are going to try to collect all the handyman specials, because if you happen to own all 3 of the handyman specials, then you don't have to pay anything to fix them up. They're automatically fixed up. You can bring the marker down to the first row. And so that's the advantage of having the handyman specials. But you have to be careful. You don't want to buy them too early in the game, because they're not going to do anything for you as far as bringing rent or value increases. But it is a good property to have when you want to trade with someone else. For example, I have Park Avenue now that I just landed on. I can probably offer somebody else money or even trade another property I may not want if they have a second or a third handyman special. And what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to avoid having to pay the fix-up cost for those properties. And another very attractive feature with the handyman specials is if you happen to own 2 or 3, then you treat them like the favorite properties. Okay, so that when you land on one, you increase the value for the other ones that you own also. And if somebody lands on one, then they give you rent, they pay you rent for the second or the third handyman specials. So you're treating them like the favorites, but you don't add them to the favorites. In other words, if somebody lands on one and you also have some other favorites, you don't ask them to pay you rent on the handyman special as well as the favorites. So they're treated like the favorites, but they are separate from the favorites. Okay, so just a quick recap. When you buy a handyman special, you have to be careful. There's certain times in the game when you want to buy them, but usually not very early in the game. And when you first buy them, you can't put them on the first row. You have to pay the fix-up cost before you can treat them like any other properties. And once you own, if you end up owning all three of them, then you don't have to pay any money to fix them up. They're automatically fixed up. And when you have two or more, then you treat them like the favorites after you pay the fix-up cost for those properties. All right, I'll see you next time.